Good evening, Southeast Texas. Hope you're doing well as we take an in-depth look at your forecast over the next 7 days. Right now, things are pretty quiet as we are looking at shower and thunderstorm activity gradually winding down and moving off to the north. Looks like smaller chances coming up on Friday and Saturday. Again, it's usually over towards Hardin, southern Jasper, southern Newton counties, what we call inland Southeast Texas, that have the highest shower and thunderstorm activity. And that's what we expect tomorrow, maybe a 30% coverage. We'll detail that in your forecast in just a minute. Now, on Sunday, we'll be watching another little surge of moisture coming in off the Gulf. The atmosphere will be unstable, and maybe a weak sea breeze develops, and that could pop maybe a 40 to 50% coverage of showers and storms coming up Sunday afternoon and Sunday night. So out of the 2 days this weekend, it looks like Saturday is going to be the pick of the litter, if you will. And then as we head on in through Monday, and especially Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week, atmosphere significantly dries, and that means weak high pressure building over the area. Not strong, but high pressure will regardlessly move over the area, and it does look like high temperatures could turn into the mid-90s even here in Beaumont, with very limited shower and thunderstorm activity. I won't say zero, could be zero, but it looks like very low chances of shower and thunderstorm activity. So things are winding down. All this cloud cover is the result of convection earlier today, and with the winds out of the west and northwest, that's why the clouds are moving back to the south and east as the showers move to the north. And as they move into areas that have already been worked over, there's less instability. So that's why these are weakening as they head off towards the northwest. Notice they are forming right along areas which have not seen shower and thunderstorm activity, the very edge of that cloud cover, over towards Jasper and Newton counties. And we think we're pretty much done coming up tonight. Let's take a look at a few showers in around Kirbyville and Old Salem, and that shower over Buna is now weakening and falling off, and basically beginning to weaken and fall off and head off towards the north and west. Otherwise, as we take a look off towards say the lakes area, looking at shower and thunderstorm activity weakening across our area, and that is headed off to the west and northwest over towards say Kirbyville, back over towards Jasper. Otherwise, across our region, the rainfall that we saw today, 20, maybe 30% coverage in the triangle, and I consider the triangle Orange and Jefferson counties. Inland Southeast Texas, a little better coverage, a very subjective view, but maybe a 30 to 40% coverage. Lakes area, 30, maybe 40% coverage. But you can see how it takes a while as the sea breeze organizes somewhere over Jefferson and Orange counties. It works to the north and then it flares up, and you get better coverages over Orange, southern Jasper counties, and Newton counties, and then it moves off to the northwest. But also, it's a lot lighter. Look at what happened off towards our west. Heavier amounts, better coverages as the moisture is moving out of the area. And also, look what happened today. Almost nothing off towards our east, and that's going to be on top of us coming up tomorrow. I'll show you in just a second. Across the state, notice shower and thunderstorm activity is continuing to move off over towards our west, moving away from our area. Notice the lack of shower and thunderstorm activity over towards Louisiana. A lot of times you get high pressure off to your north, like what we're seeing now, and the flow around it brings weather in from Mississippi and Louisiana this time of year. And that is different from when you're in winter and spring, because the winds aloft are out of the west and northwest. The winds actually reverse during the summertime, and you get more of an east and southeast flow off the Gulf in the mid-levels of the atmosphere. Otherwise, as we take a look at the moisture levels, I've color enhanced areas where there is deeper moisture, lots more moisture in the atmosphere, not just at the surface. There's always going to be surface moisture in the summertime, but at 5,000 feet and 10,000 feet, that's deeper moisture. It's taller into the atmosphere. And notice we're right on the edge, and look at where all the shower and thunderstorm activity really developed off towards our west today. Also notice the lack of shower and thunderstorm activity over towards southwest Louisiana, where there is less moisture at 10,000 feet. This is certainly what we're going to be seeing coming up tomorrow. And look where the shower and thunderstorm activity developed, where there was areas of higher moisture content in the atmosphere off the southeast Louisiana coastline and over towards Mississippi, western Mississippi and eastern Louisiana. Otherwise, taking a look at our forecast tonight, it looks like a quiet night. I don't think we're going to see nocturnal shower and thunderstorm activity like we've seen the last few mornings, because that moisture is moving out. So the tropical moisture slowly moving off to the west, so less likely to see those showers and storms develop in the northwest Gulf. So we'll go with dry weather coming up tonight, and I think these clouds are overdone. We'll go with the skies thinning out and go with mostly clear to partly cloudy skies, as low temperatures will drop into the lower 70s in the lakes, the mid 70s here in the Triangle. And again, it looks like maybe just a 20, perhaps 30% coverage inland southeast Texas, Hardin County, southern Jasper, southern Newton counties, and as the sea breeze works to the north, maybe a 20, perhaps 30% coverage up towards the lakes area. Out ahead of those showers and thunderstorms, we should see partly cloudy skies become partly sunny. It'll be hot and humid as high temperatures reach the lower 90s all across the area. But again, if you get a shower or thunderstorm, that could knock you down well into the 80s with those isolated to widely scattered showers and storms. Let me check, see if anybody had any questions on our text line. And no questions. Okay, so we'll continue with this as this works on off towards the north, sea breeze that is. So again, we highlight areas where there is abundant moisture. Now this is, instead of radar and satellite data, we're going to go to modeling data. So this is what modeling is showing us. Notice we were just on the edge. Look at all the green. Okay, we have moisture at surface. You can feel it out there, okay? But it extends to 5,000 feet and at 10,000 feet. The 10,000 foot level, the atmosphere is very sensitive to producing shower and thunderstorm activity this time of year. So we track that moisture. Where is it going to be coming up over the next few days, because that will dictate who gets the best chances of shower and thunderstorm activity. So this is in the process of moving off towards the west, and notice the brown, that is drier air at 10,000 feet. Look how low the humidity goes in on Friday. Certainly much drier as we moved out the green. So it looks like low chances, not zero, but low chances coming up on Friday and Saturday. However, as we work on into Sunday, we'll start to see this moisture coming in off the Gulf. Notice at 10,000 feet, the moisture goes up to about 60%. So we're going to have it at the surface, we're going to have it at 5,000 feet, and we're also going to have it at 10,000 feet. Quite a bit of it coming up on Sunday. So with no cap, instability, daytime heating, light south to southeast winds, we ought to get a pretty good coverage of showers and thunderstorms, we think, coming up on Sunday as this works on off to the west and northwest. And again, it doesn't look terribly heavy, but it does look like that will move off, and then we'll start to see a much drier air mass. This is on the deterministic European model. The ensembles are not as gung-ho on this amount of drying, so we're kind of waiting to see on subsequent updates whether or not this does materialize. But this is certainly picking out some very dry air, very, very dry air at 10,000 feet. So that would, if this is correct, pretty much you don't get much as far as shower and thunderstorm activity. So that's why we're tracking the moisture in the mid-levels of the atmosphere. All right, in the tropics, this is what we call an inverted trough moving through, say, southwestern Caribbean, and an upper low off the southeast coast. Upper level features, not worried about that. The Gulf is quiet. It will remain quiet for the next 7 to 10 days. Same thing with the Caribbean and southwestern Atlantic. Not expecting anything. We do not worry about the eastern Atlantic this time of year. It's just not a player as far as that goes. Otherwise, look at all the Saharan dust, and that is going to be the case early next week. Looks like some hazy weather conditions as we head towards early next week across southeast Texas, as this Saharan dust spills in across the Caribbean into the Gulf and then into southeast Texas. What that is telling you is that, again, it's not the dust that tears up hurricanes or eats clouds or anything like that. What that's saying is that you can infer that the atmosphere is very dusty or very dry. Well, that's why we talk about tracking moisture. Where's the dry air at 10,000 feet? Where's the moist air at 10,000 feet? with this kind of dry air and this signature that we're looking on the Saharan dust, that's telling us that the atmosphere is not conducive to producing widespread shower and thunderstorm activity, certainly not hurricanes or tropical storms. But what that's telling us is that you're going to see lots of sun in those areas, and that no organized shower and thunderstorm activity really expected because of that dry mid-level air. Hard to make showers and thunderstorms, let alone tropical storms and hurricanes, when you have lots of sun and very limited shower and thunderstorm activity. On the Gulf tomorrow, looking at slightly choppy seas around 2 feet and a southeast wind at 5 to 10 knots. Water temperature 89 degrees. High tides tomorrow at Sabine Pass at 6:58 a.m. and 3:11 p.m. So our forecast tonight, we do have those few showers in through northern Jasper and also in Newton counties. We do think that those will gradually wind down. Lows will be into the lower and middle 70s as skies become mostly clear. Wind's going to be calm again, as we've seen the last couple nights, and it's not very strong. We're not going to see very strong winds over the next 7 days across southeast Texas. Tomorrow, okay, showers and storms will organize along the coast, maybe a weak sea breeze. Goes through the triangle, moves up into inland southeast Texas. This is one I think we'll see the best chance, maybe a 30 to 40% coverage there, maybe as much as a 20 to 30% coverage in the lakes area. High temperatures ahead of the sea breeze will likely be into the lower 90s, and that means that there will be sufficient instability to create those showers and storms. But again, with the drier air, it should be a limiter in the amount and coverage and intensity of the shower and thunderstorm activity tomorrow. So about 20 to 30% coverage. Heat indices, oh my goodness, not records, certainly seen hotter. Heat indices, if you're outside working, make sure you keep hydrated, pushing that lawnmower or whatever. Looking at heat indices tomorrow into the upper 90s across southeast Texas. So taking a look at your weather impact 7-day forecast. Again, Friday, 20% coverage under partly sunny skies across southeast Texas, as highs will be in the lower 90s. Similar forecast coming up on Saturday, about a 20% coverage. Now Saturday into Sunday is when we start to see that moisture really start moving in to the area, and that's when we're going to go with a 50% coverage, at least here in the triangle, as that surge of moisture moves on in, and it probably could last Sunday night across southeast Texas as that moisture moves through, passes us, and then by Monday, rain chances probably will be decreasing across the area, 20 to 30% coverage. One benefit of those widespread shower and thunderstorm activity is that Sunday may not get out of the mid to upper 80s. Then it's a real head scratcher whether or not that the Euro is correct on the amount of moisture in the mid levels. Well, right now, I'm not going to go with 0. I want to see more data. We'll go with a 10% coverage coming up Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies, and 94 is what we're going to go with in Wednesday and Thursday. So that means maybe 96, 97 up in the lakes area Wednesday and Thursday of next week. Outlook for, say, 4th of July, looking good. Looking hot, humid, and mainly dry as far as fireworks for the 4th of July next Friday. Otherwise, let's take a look at the amount of rainfall. This is what the Euro is dropping, and it's usually wet. And that's all the way through next Thursday. That is a full 7 days. It is dropping less than a third of an inch or less. And normally you should pick up about 23/100ths of an inch of rainfall each afternoon. So below normal rainfall is what we're expecting the next 7 days across southeast Texas. Otherwise, let's see, quick reboot and a quick look at radar as we say goodnight to you before you